Good. Ready to go. Oh, fuck. I don't.
Fuck, nothing gives me more joy than usually I'm the second person to hop in the party, but as soon as I hop in and I see you in your little hoodie, your earphones in, it makes my day. It makes my day.
It makes my day. See, what top are you in today? Gold Coast?
Throwback to Gold Coast. Yeah, I thought I'd bring it out for another episode.
Well, you're not going to be able to see them for the next, 6 months because they normally don't make it to September or October this year.
But I mean, they're always in our hearts.
Exactly. Welcome back to another episode of the Shaggers Show. We're episode 5, I think. It's getting confusing. When we're at like 200, when we're at like 200 episodes, we can look back to how cute we're going. Surely I remember because I watched Logan Paul's podcast from like day dot, and that was nearly 2 years ago. And then I remember like the 100th episode, which he had like Machine Gun Kelly, and he's like doing live audience, like screamo, whatever he fucking does, rap. He calls it rap, but it's not great. And he had like a live audience. So hopefully by then, like we've got our whole deck sorted out. We can have our live audience come in. Hopefully Corona's like not a thing. I'm back in Perth by then, but
yeah,
we'll stick.
We'll get a nice little studio for the podcast. I reckon we'll even get like what they do on the What's Good podcast. We'll get like a Shaggers little neon sign.
Yeah, that would look sick. I don't want to get roasted for being like a teenage girl where they have like the LED lights like around the room, but they kind of look sick. Not gonna lie, I might cop myself.
Yeah, I rate them.
Yeah,
my brother has some.
Does he? Yeah, he's a
like I walk into his room, I was like, what the fuck is it blue in here?
Yeah. No, it looks sick. I had some in my car, and then I think water fucked it all up. So it's alright.
Jesus.
We've got a few things to talk about today.
Yeah, we do. I got a little part of the segment from last week. I found some more.
Let's go.
Little coincidences and small little bites.
Sweet. Is it better than or worse than last week? It can only go up, can it? Or is it? We're struggling to find stuff.
Last week's one was pretty mad. These ones. Look, I don't know how to think. It's not really coincidences, but now it's just like kind of out there sporting like facts, like knowledge, like things like you just wouldn't know, and it's like a weird coincidence of other shit that's happened.
Okay, so we might have to change up the title a little bit, but it's alright.
Yeah, but it's a work in progress. That's the whole podcast. So we've been getting better each week.
Yeah, exactly. And I hope the viewers had a great week because we certainly did when we saw our bank account go up $8 or $7 in the end. But we'll allude to that. We'll just allude it just then, but we'll allude to it later. And then FIFA. We've been grinding FIFA quite a bit this week.
Been loving it. Rewards just dropped.
Exactly. Have you opened them yet?
Not yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to choose yet.
Sure. Ooh, we should do a live. A live pack opening.
Yeah, well, I somehow pulled a madness.
Hey?
So, you know how I got relegated into Div 8?
Yeah.
Well, I got promoted this morning to Div 7. So now my rewards are for Div 7.
Oh, that's dope.
And the gap between the rewards for Div 8 and Div 7, I'm mad. I was like, oh, these are shitty rewards. Like, I'm going to hate them. But then now I've got like 3 decent options, so I'm not sure what I'm going to choose.
What's the difference for the coins? Do you remember?
Get any coins in Div 8. There's no option for coins.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, no shit. So if I choose the coin option on Div 7, I get 23k.
That's not bad. That's like standard, probably 83 good player. So that's not too bad. We should open them a bit later because I haven't opened mine yet. But I thought, I don't know why, but I think Youngie or someone said that whatever rank you're in, or division you're in at the start of the week is like when you open the pack is like what it stays at. So if you drop like 3 during the week, you still get rewards that you were in. But I mean, we can fact check that. I'm sure like you're probably more right. So say I start the week in Div 5 and I get Div 5 rewards, right? And then the next week you'll get Div 5 rewards, But say during that week you drop to Div 8 and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get Div 8 rewards. But no, because you opened them last week in Div 5, you get them in Div 5, like, and then vice versa, like the week before that, whatever you stay in. But like, I actually don't know. Like, the way that you said that, it probably makes more sense, which I kind of regret now.
I'm just going off the fact that, like, when you can check like the rewards. When I was in Div 8, I could like see the rewards. It was like, oh, rank 3. Like, here's what rewards you'll be able to choose from. And then when I progressed up this morning, it was a completely different set of packs, like coins.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, now I kind of regret it because I was 1 win off Div 3 last night, and I was like, do I play one more game? I'm hell fucking tired. I just want to go to bed. I was like, nah, I won't play it. I'll wait till tomorrow because, like, chances are I'll probably lose. Like, the game before that, the guy scored 2 quick goals. I'm like, oh, shit. All right, I better get off. And I scored the next 6, so I was in some form, but that's the way this FIFA is.
I've never sweated so hard in my life than this morning. So I woke up last night because, like, PlayStation fucked their parties up, right?
Yeah.
They had a good thing going and they ruined it. That's my gripe for the week. But so I couldn't join your party because Matt hadn't updated his PlayStation. So I was just sitting there playing squad battles.
Yeah.
To do the Diogo Jota, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
To do like his one to watch. And then this morning I woke up, I was like, I'm just gonna grind it out, complete it. Never had to sweat out getting 10 finesse 10 finesse goals in rivals in my life.
Yeah,
and
no shit.
It just lined up perfectly. I was like, I got promoted, and the last game I needed one more finesse goal to do it. I ended up losing 3-2, but I was like, my last goal was the finesse goal, and I was like, no,
I'm done. Yeah.
Not risking relegation anymore.
I found the Portuguese assists a bit hard. Who do you have that's Portuguese and assisting? Is that one? No.
So it's one of them is in squad battles. You have to have a Liga NOS player.
Yeah.
Score like 5 goals or something like that.
And then you need one. One of them is a Portuguese. I remember it's like Portuguese, and like a through ball maybe. A through ball assist.
One of them was like you need an assist from a 4-star skiller.
Yeah.
Or like higher.
Oh yeah.
Which so like what I did, and because it was like just in squad battles on professional difficulty.
Yeah.
I bought like a pacey striker from Liga NOS.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Like 1,000 coins.
Yeah. And
then all of my attack and my midfielders have 4-star skills anyway, so it's like just get an assist to this guy and scores a goal, and I'll tick off both of them.
Yeah, true. I think I did a similar thing. I didn't have to buy anyone though, because luckily I had some guys that were good enough to score goals. And then the finesse shots, I don't think I've done that one. Maybe I have, but the other one was to score at least 2 goals a game, which is like super easy this FIFA because it's just goals galore. Like it's super easy until
this. Yeah. This FIFA's been one of my favorites in a long time. Like, admittedly, I didn't really play online like against people, so there could be other ones better for online gameplay.
Yeah.
But this whole FIFA's probably my favorite in a long time. They just have to fix goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Because every single game I play, at least like 5 goals have been scored.
I think it's getting better.
That's a total thing.
Yeah, I think it's getting better because obviously the more you get used to the game, the better defending gets. And now I know like where you're likely to score a goal from. So if you just push them out wide, also another thing, if like last FIFA, if you played the game like regularly, and you also know like the tips and tricks, like to always go to near post, and now they have to get out of their heads. Now that the goalkeeper is stopping all those near post goals, you have to go like cross. You have to go across them now. But I agree with the goalkeeping. This guy the striker would touch the ball like the shittest power on earth. It still get past my 88 goalkeeper. I'm like, bro, how's this happening? But I agree. They've kind of fixed it up a little bit over the week. But yeah, I want to rant about PlayStation as well. Not only have they stuffed that up, but now that they're recording like voice parties, I think. Well, I just quickly saw that like, yeah, they can now access your voice recording in the parties. So I think, and then I saw some comments and I agree. I think lots of us are going to jail for a very long time if they ever got a hold of our.
We don't do anything sketchy in our voice charting. What do you mean?
Yeah, we do a lot of sus things though. Maybe not jail worthy, but
from what I've been reading, right? It's not like I saw one person. I think they were joking. They said that one person said a very shit thing in a party.
Yeah.
Or we have to describe shit thing in a party.
Mm.
And then they got banned off it without anyone reporting them. But apparently they record it, but nothing gets done about it unless somebody reports you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So then, so it's like recorded, but then they'll be like, oh, this person reported this person at 3:00 on a Monday. We'll go check their party logs from 3:00 on Monday, or like 2:00 on a Monday, and then go through it.
Yeah, you just don't want the boys like
called out. Like,
yeah, none of the boys are snitches anyway. Well, hopefully we don't have any snitches in the group.
I'm gonna be reporting Jacko and Justin.
Well, all they say now is oh, your mum sleeps in an awkward position or something like that. That's the new trend.
Yeah, keep bringing up my brother. Oh, Joel sleeps in the most awkward position.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just say, oh, Jacko's sister, and then yeah.
I mean, another one of our mates actually copped a ban over the week. Hasn't been able to play for a hot minute.
Who's that?
Duncan.
Oh, really?
So he copped a ban. He told me what he got banned for.
What was it?
And he was mad. So this is exactly. I'll give you the whole thing. So basically, he was telling me he plays Div 5 and he lost 2-1, and the guy had Kante, Pogba, and someone else, right?
Yeah. Like
probably De Bruyne. Like he said something. Oh no, Bruno Fernandes it was.
Yeah, so a pretty OP team.
And yeah, and he's like, he messaged the guy after the game and goes, "Daddy's credit card, right?"
Oh my god, yeah.
And then the kid responds, "My dad's dead." And Duncan responds, "Good, he deserves it." And the kids reported him, and he's been banned for a week.
A week? Fucking hell. So he's not allowed on PlayStation, that account, for a whole week?
Apparently he's supposed to come back tomorrow, but he's been allowed back on today.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even noticed that he hasn't been on. But I'm sure he'll want to play some pro clubs games, because that's what we've got back into the groove of doing. I played 3. You probably played a couple.
I played 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we've got a few new members. We've got Matt, Jacko, Youngie, and Justin. Sorry, I nearly forgot about Justin. And out of all of them, they're all pretty solid. There's a lot of contenders for striker. They're all going to be complaining, and that's what I hate about, because like I'm quite confident that I'm going to have to get shifted from striker to CDM, like, because the other boys, like the St. Stephen's boys, like didn't really care. Well, if they did care, we overruled them. But with these boys, like, oh, I'm gonna leave if I'm not striker. So basically, Matt scored 3 on. Oh no, actually, yeah, we'll say Matt scored 3 on his debut. But hopefully you guys will see an episode this weekend of us playing pro clubs again. I've done one Photoshop of a signing Youngie, and that was long awaited. He probably could have got one last FIFA, but we kind of said nah, might as well wait to this FIFA.
Low deal last FIFA. He didn't play enough for us.
Exactly right.
But this year, very good to make the permanent. I think we've come to a weird crossroads.
What do you mean?
Crossroads, but it's like, so you and I guess you'd probably say me and you're probably like the OGs of the Shaggers, right?
Yeah.
Me, you and Raj, we made it.
And Milan.
Party one time.
And Milan. Or yeah, like...
Milan did drop off though.
Milan dropped off, but he technically was one of the boys. Like at the start, like Milan was playing more than Raj, and then Raj hopped on. But yeah, go on.
So it's like, me and you and Raj stayed consistent. Milan had like technical problems, so he couldn't play FIFA. That's probably why he dropped off a lot.
Yeah.
But then now Raj doesn't have the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And so me and you now, obviously, we do play a lot more with like Jacko, Justin, and all that. So now we've got like 2 groups of people. Now we have the Shaggers is basically like a 15-man deep
Well,
club. You know what I mean? Like a 12-man deep club.
Yeah, and we haven't exactly kicked anyone out. Like, we're just using the people that actually have the game at the moment. Like, I'm more than happy if we got like an 11-man squad for one game. I'm like, oh, we probably will lose, but at least it's like good content. And like, again, like we don't do it we only do it to have fun, like, and produce content and whatever.
Yeah,
like, we don't do it to.
And then those arguments are going to come up again though. Like, is Ratchetty's going to get it
Yeah.
this week? Hopefully, we'll have 4 strikers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Or like, I think with Jacko's kind of group, everyone wants to be a striker to score the goals. Whereas with the St. Stephen's group, it was like people are happy to play their role. We had left backs and right backs playing that role. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, well, I don't know how Raj works, but Raj said he was going to get it like on the 9th when it came out, and he didn't get it. So saying it this week, he probably will get it next month, but that's alright. That's when.
Yeah, he'll get it for Christmas.
Exactly. Actually, I won't say that. Oh no, I won't say that. But anyway, we have lots of strikers. I don't want to get cancelled. Nah, it's just Raj. I don't want to hurt Raj's feelings, but it's alright. And so yeah, we've got lots of strikers. Technically, we have Justin, who probably wants to play striker. Youngie, who plays good on the wing, like, but he would rather play a striker. Obviously, I would rather play a striker. You play really good at cam, but so does Youngie. So there's a bit of fight for that position. So if I get kicked back to CDM and I'm playing any, I'm not too mad about that. The only thing that's bad about any is like you just have to concentrate the whole time. Like, I don't know, it's a lot harder. Or when you guys are just playing as one player, I pass the ball to you guys, and then Jacko's just so negative as well, which doesn't help. Every like time I fuck it up, and then you'll see on the very first game, Dylan jinxed our result. I won't say if it's a draw or win or loss, but he jinxed a result and completely. Well, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it's only the first game anyway of the season, and we went on to get other results. I won't spoil it. Actually, I keep on saying I wanted to spoil it, but I just don't because I know it's gonna be a great episode.
Even going back to the like 2 groups type thing, like I think with like the Jacko's group, it is a lot more. Probably like classic pro clubs, I guess you would say. It's just a lot of shit talk.
Yeah, it
like,
is.
You've got Jacko always negative about absolutely everything.
Yeah.
But then when we play with St. Stephen's boys, it's like there's still the shit talk there, but it's also like we're sweating it out to win.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that our group or the St. Stephen's group is like too nice. Until like I know Ryan loves to dish off a good roast, so I know that, and then I don't want to dish off one back to him because he might get too mad. But like with Jeremy, I don't mind giving him shit because he knows that he's shit at the game, and then like we give Vinay too much shit, but he does do some dumb stuff, so he deserves it.
I think we've broken Vinay's confidence. It's like he's scared to try to be good at it now because every time. If someone fucks up, like if me or you fuck up or Raj fucks up, like we're not gonna cop stick from anybody, right?
Yeah.
Like we'll cop like the occasional like sell or whatever like that. But as soon as Vinay like touches the ball wrong, we're all down his throat so much that he's scared to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. I feel bad sometimes, but at the same time he deserves it. Like I'm sorry about that. And sometimes I deserve it and I don't cop it. Like I don't even get that. Like I know I'm playing the whole team.
Because you play any, so it's like we understand how like hard and how much of a grind it actually is to play any, especially with like shitty defending.
Yeah, exactly. So,
you know what I heard about pro clubs as well, which I don't know if I like or not, is that apparently the data doesn't carry over to PS5. So we're gonna grind out our pro clubs character till next month, and then you pre-ordered the PS5, haven't you?
Yeah.
I pre-ordered the PS5. We're going to have to then re-grind it from 80 overall, which is not the most fun grind. I'll give them that. It's not great.
Well, I forget about the grind. Like last year, we got into it pretty late, but I just remember, and I haven't really played pro clubs previously, so the grind was just like, oh yeah, this is normal. But now I feel the difference in my guy. Like he's obviously not as pacey and stuff. Like, I think at the moment I'm 85 pace, and last year I got to like 93. So you can feel the difference.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like I'm trying to do shit, especially from Cam, where last week I probably have quite a unique play style at Cam.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do shit at Cam that I was able to do last year because like we started off real bad, but then we got so like to such a good point, and now I'm trying to do shit I could do when I was at my highest point last year, and my play is just not ready for it.
Yeah. But last year we did start with a team that were less experienced in the game of like pro clubs, whereas now like you look at all the boys that we just signed, and like I'm quite confident to say that they have all played FIFA, and they're all like, you're probably the lowest div in Rivals, which like Rivals has no comparison to like actual pro clubs. So I'm sorry I just did that to you. But also,
that's right.
No.
I'm definitely probably a better pro clubs player than I am ultimate team player.
Yeah, like, exactly.
I think it's a lot different controlling just one player, making sure they can do alright thing compared to making the whole team. Especially with the shitty fucking goalkeepers.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about the shitty goalkeepers now. I just have to worry about it. But we do have Johnny Sins in goals, so not a lot of goals are going to get past him. And yeah, sorry about this. On a side note, your name was default on Snapchat for a very long time, but it's now Div9 Dylan. So I'm sorry about that.
I never even got to Div9. I was always Div8.
I know, but the boys say that you got to Div9, so I'm like, oh yeah.
As soon as I try to contribute to anything, and it's just like, Dylan, shut up, you're Div9. Come on, boys.
It's the same. Like they just say, "Oh, Drew, you're a ranger." It's like, oh, whatever. But yeah, hopefully, yeah. For me, Div3, it would be like nice, but I don't know how, because you got to balance like, I'm winning games in Div4, but will I still win games in Div like 3? I don't want to just lose games. My record's looking pretty nice. Have you seen those YouTubers that like they're on pro clubs and they have like 100 games like won without losing? Like they have 100 games, 0 draws and 0 wins. Have you seen like those people? Yeah.
I've not.
No.
I've seen YouTubers that are doing like the build videos, and it's like them playing with their mates, and they've got like plays and shit, and it's like, oh, when I get the ball here, like you run around this side and I'll flick it out, like I don't understand the fun in that. You know what I mean? Like when you play pro clubs, like, oh, I just want to go have fun.
Yeah, it's like when we saw, I think their team was like Richmond, but remember their tactic was just to wing, like all their wingers and like all their players like run down the wing at the same time. Do you remember that team? And like, like how's that fun? And then you have the people who sweat out, like they know exactly how to score from across. Like it's just like, oh, it's not even fun anymore if you
like. Because I can understand winning's fun, but then also like you also want to have like individual game, like because there's not really like an individual game in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like it's more fun seeing like the turn that I got on when we versed my brother's team. Yeah, it was only a friendly, but I megs the guy, passed it to Raj, and then to see Raj take a long shot and smack it off the crossbar in.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like that's just fun. Like there's no fun in just being like, oh, you run down the wing, I'll chip it to you and tap it in.
Yeah. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, did you mean to do that skill move? Because I reckon half the time I'm like spamming it, not knowing what to do. Or what it's
doing. No, I meant to. I didn't mean to try to nutmeg him. I'll give you that. It was a bit of like I was trying to do like a little bit of a body feint, but then put it into animation where he taps it through with the body feint.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna run with this then. But like I was trying to get around him of some sort. Because like we were talking, that was when we started to talk about like, oh, we need to practice doing skill moves more to like take it up to that next level. And I was like, oh, if we're gonna try, may as well try in this friendly match. And then came off as the best assist I've ever had.
Exactly. And even I found myself like watching YouTube videos and how to get better, like because I'm actually keen to. I definitely can't beat those Div 1 players yet, and it's frustrating. Like you probably come up against teams that look better on paper than I do, but then the teams that I play, the players a bit better, and then also like they already know how good like their whole team is. So like this 77 winger. Yeah, and on paper he looks shit, but on the game, like he like hacks the game and like somehow has 100 pace and shit. So like, you'll get used to it. And shout out to the people who have Brazilian bloody players on their team. Have you ever come up with that? Like come up against the Brazilian team? Oh, okay. So
actually versus an Argentinian team the other day, but
yeah, so
it was a weird one. I was like, who plays as Argentina? But
yeah, and so basically you come up against teams that everyone's like Brazilian, and you have like this striker who's like insanely good at the game. His name's like, oh, I don't want to say it wrong. It's like Texiera or something like that, and he's like insane. And then in Cam, like there'll be another 82 rated, like not even good. He'll be so cheap as well. Like I could probably go out and get him, but like I just go with the EPL team just because I'm boring and whatever. And then so all these players just have Brazilians, and it's just like so aids, and like I can sometimes beat them, but they will have like insane pace as well. So yeah, shout out to you guys if you have Brazilian teams. You're doing a great job. You're pissing me off a lot. That's my rant for the week.
But I think I got like another thing that I feel like they probably could have done better with FIFA this year is that I like the skill rating, right? I do like that feature where like to find out. I don't know how they work it out. It's like how good you are
Yeah.
and like how good the person you versed is. But I wish they'd kept divisions the same as like you win 3 points.
Yeah.
So you can work towards getting that trophy or something like that. Because I don't want to be relegated just because I'm shit. If I make it, let me play like 10 games in that league, see if I can hold it or whatever like that. Because because like in a situation like I have, right, if like over a 10-game season, I might play the first three games might be shitty might be the worst games I've played. But then I could get a win streak of 7 and win the title still, or like get promoted or like hold the division right on the old system.
Yeah.
Now, if I get promoted and I play just say 3 bad games and like lose, it takes the skill rating down to underneath what the relegation is. Then you just back down the other division.
Yeah, okay. But I think sometimes if you're one game off getting relegated, you're versus someone that's one game off getting promoted, if you know what I mean. So I think like they kind of balance it out. Like I agree. I like the old system, but like you can kind of see it has to change something up. Like if it was like that, because I can't even remember what was the first FIFA Ultimate Team. Would have been like 12, 13, something like that.
Yeah, FIFA was the first Ultimate Team, yeah.
Yeah, and that probably was the system, right? The play your 10 games and then yeah. So imagine 10 years later, oh no, 9 games later, it's still being that system. Like everyone be like, oh, this is shit. Like change it up. So if they could get a balance between the two, I don't know if you can, but like if they introduce like a different one, they probably do have to change it up and just like I don't know. Yeah, I agree though. I don't.
Even if it's like the way that if they do it where it's because as long as it can be the same system, but as long as it's like because it's not as like they'll obviously update it to match their menus and all that.
Yeah.
But like because like it's not really the system that's broken. You know what I mean? Like no one's really complaining. Like I don't know how it worked last year. But like no one's complaining about like, oh, this is such a bad system. Like, why do I have to win this many games to be promoted or whatever, right? Like it works.
Yeah.
But then I reckon if they do the skill rating one where it's like you'll match up with someone around your skill rating to then make the games more fair or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And I found myself losing to people who have a skill rating lower and then versus someone that has a skill rating higher and I beat them. And it's like, what's happened here? And then the other one is when you lose a game, you like lose like 30 points or whatever, but when you win, you only get like 20. Like I want to know like what defines like if you win by 5-0, do you get like more points than if you win 1-0 against a player? Like I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's an algorithm on it that I'd probably just need to go up and look.
And one also thing, like I can understand why. Well, got 2 more things that my gripes with FIFA, right? But I still the other game. I've been playing it non-stop.
Mm.
The first thing is if you Yeah, so if you just say, so I did my placement games, I got placed in Division 7, right?
Yeah.
Got relegated, got back promoted, and you don't get any reward for being promoted again, right? I can understand, like, oh, they give you the coins at the start. But I think you should still get, like, promoted, once you get promoted back from thing, like 2,500 coins for getting promoted from Div 8 to Div 7, right? Or, like, you know what I mean? Or,
Yeah.
like, it goes up. Like, so just say you go from Div 2 to Div 1, like, 10,000 coins, for example, like, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously, like, maybe to stop people from farming coins of, like, promotion relegation, like, do it where every time you go up, like, you lose 500 coins from that or something like that. So then it stops people from going from Div 7 to Div 8, Div 8 to Div 7, you know what I mean?
True. But then,
like, it still gives you that incentive of, like, or, like, give you something to be like, oh, yeah, I've just gone up. Now I've got this, you know what I mean? Because, like, I got promoted this morning and it's just the biggest non-event. It just says Division 7. I'm like, oh, all right.
yeah. But then at the same time, like, you can't really take people, like, you can't take money away from people. Like, say you spent all your money on getting Aguero and then you get demoted, and then it's like, oh, I got negative 20 grand in my account. That's sick. So, like, you can't really take money away, but you do. I kind of agree.
Like, not even taking money away, though, because, like, so, like, because they give you, I don't know how they worked it out, right? But, like, you got, what did you get? Division 4 or Division 3?
Division 5, I got.
Oh, Division 5. How much did you get for Division 5?
44K.
So for that 44K, right, that should be separate because now, so just say you went to Division 5 and then you dropped all the way to Division 8. You're not going to get any coins from going from Division 8 back to Division 5, right? So that your placement games coins that you get should be something completely different.
Yeah.
As just like,
true.
oh, like goodwill from EA, I guess. Like, I know it's EA, but like, some
Yeah.
goodwill from EA. Like, congratulations, you did well. Here's 44,000 coins to start your team. I
Yeah.
got 18K for like starting in Div 7, right? That's the goodwill. And then if I get relegated to Div 8, then I should get like a 2,500 prize, for example, from promotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like if you look at a team, just say West Brom, right? They got relegated from the Premier League.
Yeah.
They get back in the Premier League this year. The Premier League aren't like, no, you already got money 2 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
you already come back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There should still be a reward for being promoted.
Yeah. And
obviously not as much as what you got for those placement games, but like,
yeah. But FIFA also like really cheeky with type. Like, I saw a little thing. I think it was on Twitter, and they funny is, I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but it was only FIFA Ultimate Team was working. Career mode wasn't working. Seasons wasn't working. Pro Clubs wasn't working. The only thing that was conveniently working was FIFA Ultimate Team, and they might have done it to try and get people to go play that and spend money, because that's how they make their money pretty much. People buying whatever they call their currency, FIFA points. There you go.
FIFA points, but I mean it works. I've already dropped, I think, $40 on FIFA points, and it's been out for 2 weeks.
I'm still on 0, but and again, I did pack Dybala, and hopefully I do pack someone this rewards. I'll be like fucking mint if I can pack someone.
More annoying as well. Like, I understand because I heard a thing about how they work out packs as well, right? So it's not confirmed, but this is just what's not. Like, I watched a streamer that called Flair, brought him up last week as well, right?
Shut up,
and
Flair.
It's just like the investment. Like, he does investments.
Yeah.
Like, helps people make coins, right?
And
he was talking about how him and his mates have a theory that, so they obviously give each player like a base percentage of being packed, right?
Yeah.
Which works out how much they're rating, like, who they are. So like, obviously you're gonna pack more of like a Marco Royce, for example. Obviously there's like still a slim choice, or like a Dele Alli. You've got more chance of pulling a Dele Alli than a Pele.
Yeah.
But then also though, they've got this theory where it also goes off the market value of the player, right? Because so if you look at it, like only being like an 82 rated, you'd think of Rodrigo, who pulled a lot more than some other players, right?
Yeah.
But like, he's not really like flooded the market. There's a lot of him on there, obviously, but because he's worth so much, so they think that if a player's selling for 30K or something like that, you've got less chance of pulling that type of player than just say a Dele Alli who's only selling for 7K.
Yeah, 100%. And that's like it's part of the algorithm. And I've got a theory that if you have 3 or like 5 shit packs in a row, the next one will be good. Like you'll never get 2 good packs in a row. That's just how I view it. Until I think, I did a whole SBC, got legit no one, and then like the player that I got that was half decent, I already had him. So it's like getting to the stage. Like you remember when, or if you watch like Bateson or someone who like opens packs like for days on end, and you see he opens a pack, and then you see that like in that club, like all the players that he's just packed, and if it's a shit pack, he's already packed them. And it's like, imagine getting to this stage in FIFA where you open a pack and they're all duplicates. Like until you get like a Pele or someone. Like that's the stage that I want to get to. But also I don't want to spend like 200 grand on the game. Like that's the only way I see myself like getting that type of godly fucking into FIFA. And like, oh yeah, and then I've qualified for Champions. FUT Champions. There you go. I was gonna say Champions League. I'm like, yeah, I've qualified for Champions League. Woo! Yeah. So
you gonna play them?
I'm gonna sweat my nut off on Friday or tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
But I have one last gripe with FIFA, right? And I understand like, because obviously I don't know why there's even like they get EA give a tax as well for like your plays.
Yeah.
They take 10% of it, right?
Yeah.
What are they doing with that? You know what I mean? Like, why can't we just keep 100%? But
true.
So they love to keep coins like a premium, like at a premium, right? They don't love to give them out to everyone.
Yeah.
But the amount of untradeable packs that you get, surely they can just be like, I can understand the SBC ones, the 2-player packs, untradeable, right? Or like the odd untradeable pack. I did the Diego Jota one to watches, right?
Yeah.
And you get a premium gold pack in that.
Yeah.
I pack a 70k Marco Reus. Can't list him.
Yeah.
Untradeable pack. It doesn't tell you it's untradeable. It just says premium gold pack. So that's why I sent it to our group chat. I was like, 70k, right?
And then you didn't realize.
I couldn't trade it. I can't trade him.
And you would have,
I didn't see the small thing in the top right corner saying they're untradeable. But like, what's the point of making that untradeable? I've got to play 10 games or like how many games to sweat out these goals. Surely you can find it, because there's not even the odds of like packing someone good in there anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And but at the same, that's just FIFA or EA just being sneaky. And
Then I reckon also another little theory is like in an untradeable pack, you've got higher chance of pulling something better.
Yeah.
Than in a trade, you know what I mean? Because like you look at those 2-player packs, sometimes they're really bad, but most of the time you get someone all right or like somewhat decent.
Yeah, like Justin got Rashford. I'm pretty sure I got someone pretty insane last year, but like the easier is to get those type of packs. So the objective packs, those 2-player SBCs packs are quite easy to do. That just means that they're just going to be untradeable because everyone's doing them. Like, I mean, it builds your team, but if you're packing a Marco Reus, who's worth like quite a lot, I wouldn't say like heaps, but he's worth quite a bit, and you've got a BPL team, like it pretty much has no use to you. Like you're probably not going to go and make a Bundesliga team, are you? You're probably just going to let them sit there, or you considering it?
I do have 2 teams, and my second team is called the Bundes Boys. And it's just I'm slowly making a Bundesliga team. Because so it does work. I've got a use for them now, but like I don't know. It's just because I've been slowly chipping away. Because eventually I want to just get out of the EPL, sell all my EPL players, and make like a Bundesliga team, or like because they're cheaper teams, and some of the players are kind of better than the EPL players.
Yeah. And I want to do some research and like find out if I sold everyone in my team right now, find out what that sum is, and then go from there and then make a Bundesliga team, for example, and find out if I use this cash, like, and then compare it to my team that I've got now, how much like insanely it could be. And then it kind of goes off the argument like Haaland for Borussia Dortmund, and like say Lewandowski, like they're really expensive players, and I think there's a big gap between those, like which would be the ultimate goal to get to or to pack or buy in if you have a Bundesliga team. Like that's a big difference to like a player who's a striker. I don't even know. Say Werner last year, not even Werner last year because he was pretty good, but like the next best is quite down. Whereas with the EPL, with the EPL, you have like quite a range in like you have your Aguero and Aubameyang, and then the next one you might have Werner, which is still really expensive, but then you've got like Rodrigo. You've got more of a variety, I reckon. In the EPL, that's why those players are so expensive as well.
Then also you got to look at it like because we both started with we both have an EPL team.
Yeah.
Like if you were to actually like look at it, like go into it, then like we probably could find someone like a Rodrigo just in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, true.
If we actually like looked through and been like, oh, this guy's got pace. Because like when it started, when like FIFA started, no one was thinking like, oh, Rodrigo and Richarlison are going to be better than Aubameyang. Like I probably would rather take a Rodrigo right now in FIFA than an Aubameyang.
I would,
because I don't know what it is about that card. Every time I verse someone on Aubameyang, he's not scored for them.
Yeah. True.
I don't know if it's a physicality factor or something like that, but he gets because I've got Thiago Silva and Alderweireld in my centre backs, and I think maybe I've versed him like 6 times. He scored 1 goal.
Jesus. Yeah, I haven't even versed him yet.
I was like,
yeah.
If I was to upgrade my strikers, I would just rather wait and try to buy a Werner or Aguero than just buy an Aubameyang because Aubameyang every time I burst him just hasn't done anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't get Aguero. I feel like Werner would be like every FIFA I play against them and I play with them if they've got a loan. And last FIFA I was like, all right, I want Kante by the end of the FIFA. And I was lucky I think I bought him in the end. I did pack someone that was 3. Oh yeah, I packed Smedo. And he was and it was his it was like I can't remember what his card was, but it was one of those orange ones that it wasn't Halloween's or anything. It was one of
Is that like the international man of the match or something like that?
No, it was like it'll come to me. And so he was worth quite a bit, and I was fortunate enough to buy like De Bruyne, Kante, and I was like, that's the ultimate goal. I want to get De Bruyne or Kante. And then this year, my ultimate goal was to end up with Werner, and he's really expensive at the moment. He's like worth 250k, but like I did play against him, and he was like insanely good. So yeah.
Was it? Yeah, apparently last year orange cards were man of the match.
It was one of those orangey.
Was it man of the match card?
No, it was orangey. There was a few colors, but the main color was orange. I'm gonna type up orange Smedo and see what it comes up with.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was bringing up Footpin now. Hey.
Yeah, it's something to do with. It's like I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but he was. I think I don't know. He plays the Wolves now, and apparently he's pretty good, but he's still really pricey. Smedo.
Headliners?
Hey?
Was it the 87 headliners, Nelson?
Headliners, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So he was worth like 350k. Yeah, it was a good hit. Like I just play as a Barcelona. I didn't have a Barcelona like a La Liga team. Like so I just straight up sold him. I think I might have played a couple games with him. He was like godly because what was it? His card is 95 pace, 85 defending. Like that's probably the ideal bloody card that you want as a right back. But just had no use, so I got rid of him. But yeah, who's one player that you've played against or you've kind of seen on YouTube and stuff, and you're like, yeah, by the end of FIFA, I want that card. Like, does any come to mind for you?
Probably would have to be like like a Bruno Fernandes as like Cam would be really
Yeah.
pretty sick being a United fan. But then also like you'd just want like a Werner or someone like that, like just a sick striker. But I've actually like that's probably more realistic in a more realistic realm. But if, like any player I saw on someone's stream,
true.
I think it was like a Rivaldo. I think it is like Brazilian Cam icon.
Yeah.
It's got like 90 pace and stuff like that, and looks insane.
That's
and,
the same with
like just any icon, but like that icon would be mad.
I mean, any of the Chelsea icons, I'll be like, oh yeah, I want that one. But even Edio, or is it Edio? I think the striker. Like I've heard that he's icon card, but like the chances of us pulling one of those is like pretty rare. I know Jacko pulled a bloody icon from a 5k pack or 7.5k pack last FIFA, which is like just go kill yourself, mate. But yeah, like honestly, Werner. I did get Bruno Fernandes last FIFA, but he's still playing. Did he play at Sporting? Was it? Did he come from Sporting? Yeah, it was when he was playing there. It was so when you get rewards from playing FUT Champs, you get like the rewards are, or it depends where you finish. I think you get some money. It's been a while since I played it, and then you also get to choose from 3 plays that they give you, and you choose them, and it's like plays that are the informs for that week, and so it's pretty like they're pretty good players, but sometimes you get stiff because you know how team of the weeks work. Like you still get a team of the week that's still like 75 red, and you're like, oh, thanks FIFA for giving me this card that no one will use, and then you just quick sell it anyway because no one wants to buy them either. So yeah, I got him in one of those packs. I think like Harry Maguire. I wasn't going to choose Harry Maguire over bloody Fernandes, even though Harry Maguire probably was more likely to use him. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes is like a godly card this year. I feel like so, like yeah,
yeah. I've also seen that they've started to do that in normal packs as well. I think I was watching, could have been like a Zerka stream or something like that. And it was like it popped up as like it's just like a blank card, and it just says like player pick.
Like
75 to 82 ranger or something like that.
Yeah.
And you click on it and it like comes up like 5 different cards and you just choose which one you want. Which is like actually weeks ago before FIFA came out, and I was telling you about how Madden do it like that, which is something similar.
They did that last year though, I remember.
Did they?
Yeah, 100%. Because I remember there's a few cards like that, and it is like that. But this is like completely random. Like, luckily, like if you get, say you have Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar make team of the week that week, you will you'll probably get given those like the high cards. They'll never compare like a high card to like a 77 rated fullback. Or can't even get so like it's a bit different, but it's exactly like that. It's like I kind of want to play a draft as well to see how like that will go, but at the same time I never pulled a draft token, and I don't really want to pay 15k just to play a draft that I could probably go out in the first round. But I've
got a question for you.
Yeah.
Probably gonna have to segue off FIFA, intensive FIFA chat after this. But what is one goal that you have for the end of FIFA 21? Like, what do you want to achieve?
Realistic or like kind of
like just like something where it's like once you complete it, you'll be like, I'm happy of how my FIFA 21 Ultimate Team.
To be fair, like packing a team of the year, is that a good enough answer? Well, I could say Div 1.
Yeah, like if that's what you want to do, yeah.
Yeah, well, I could say, I want to get to Div 1, but to be honest, I don't think that's realistic. If I picked up like skill moves and stuff like that, maybe. But I've never packed a team of the year. I've seen my mates do it. I've been in a party where my mate's done it, like right then and there. He's like, I just packed fucking this. I think it was Allison. But like, I've never been fucking. I just want to see That blew sides and like, oh my god, yeah. What about you?
See, mine's probably it's probably like a bit of not a shitty one. Everyone's here is probably everyone that listens to our 10 listeners, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's probably better than me at FIFA, right? It's no surprise. My number one goal by the end of FIFA 21
is to get to Div 8
by the end of the year. Make FUT champs. I just want to make FUT champs once.
Yeah.
I'll lose every game. I don't care. It's somebody else.
No, you will.
Just to
You
qualify,
will. No, you will. You will. You 100%. Nah. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. Nah. So
you're not taking that.
Well, do you know how to qualify?
No.
Oh, okay. So
isn't it just points? Doesn't it reset every week?
No. Oh, I don't think so. It might. No. Have you played this week?
Oh, I thought they reset every week. Because I've got like 300 points out of like the 2,000 to qualify.
And has it resetted, or you don't know yet?
I haven't checked. I haven't checked when I got on.
So I thought it doesn't.
If it doesn't reset, and
then, no,
yeah, goal beats like hit like Div 3 or like Div 4.
No, I know for certain it doesn't reset. I'm pretty sure. This year, well, I could completely get it wrong, but last week I didn't do it, and I was stuck on 2,000 points, and then this week I did qualify. So, and all you have to, yeah. So
last week there wasn't like a FUT champ, so
there wasn't.
Like this is
the first week.
The first FUT
champ. Oh, this is gonna be even fucking more sweaty then.
Which is why I think it might reset after each FUT champ.
Oh, I hope it doesn't.
Like, do you remember how last year? Or like last year, like year before, it was like you had to do like the plane tournament, whatever it was. It was like you had to play qualification games to qualify in. I think it's like the same things with the points. Like you learn points from rivals over the week to then.
Oh, well, okay.
Because like each division you're in, you earn more points for it per win.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so that's why I probably got to it way quicker than you because you were already automatically. Yeah. So yeah, I qualified easily then, but that I don't know because last year I was pretty shit as well. So and I still was surprised that I made it, and I actually didn't do shit, but I didn't do well. Like I'm not those guys that get 30 wins out of 30 wins. But if that wasn't your goal, I just saying now I don't think that qualifies because like surely after if you grind it a lot, you could probably get that next week. So I won't take that, but if that is the case,
definitely hitting like a Division 4 or 3 or something like that would be quite big, especially how poor I am in Division 7 and 8 at the moment.
To be honest,
because I'm just learning. Like I'm so bad at like I'm alright like in midfield, getting the ball up to my attacking. I just cannot score because like last year I used to bang it near post right.
Yeah.
And this year you've got to like the amount of flicks the defenders get on the ball as soon as you shoot it. You have to properly get space and then get it in.
Yeah.
And it's just I've just started to learn how to use R1 to then do the close dribbles, get some space around someone, and then take the shot off.
Yeah, it's like this season or even last season, it's known fact that the possession type players will probably win, and I've always been kick the ball around my defenders in real life and build up a play, and then Youngie gives me shit and he's like, oh, all of that build up for me to intercept it and go down not score because Youngie doesn't beat me, which actually I've got another pet peeve, right? So if I don't know if it's still a fact now, but a few days ago, if you're versing your mate, your team versus his team, if you quit, it doesn't count in the records, which I think it's BS because I still haven't lost to anyone. So no, I don't think I have lost to anyone, and I've beaten Youngie 3 times. But because he always leaves before the end of the game, it only says that I've beaten him once. So that's another pet peeve. I hope they fix it. And it's not. I think it's an easy fix. And last year, it definitely wasn't the case because I beat Justin 11 times in a row, and he probably left 5 of them because there's no point staying in it when you're 5-0 down. So, but yeah, that's another pet peeve.
I've got a thing this year where it's as I lose some games by some big margins sometimes.
Yeah.
4 or 5 goals. I will not leave. I will not rage quit because apparently they take coins off you
Yeah.
for every other game you play, you lose coins for each rage quit. So I think I lost connection one time, which was my fault.
Yeah.
Or my fault. And they're like, oh, rage quit, or whatever it is, oh, we're taking coins off each game you further play.
Oh,
And
that's
then
soft.
now I'll be down in the 60th minute, 4-0, and I'll just still play out the rest of the 90 minutes.
Yeah. Well, my thing is if you're playing shit, that's obviously a reason. So you might as well not leave and try and play yourself back into the game. Whether you can score a couple more goals, it's still you kind of play yourself back into form. And I still think it's a bit scripted. Where if you're 4-0 down, the game's oh, this guy's shit. We might as well give him a boost for him to get a bit of hope and try and come back. But is that all we have for FIFA this week? Is there anything more you want to add?
I think that's our FIFA gripes. I'm sure next week we'll be ready to complain about our rewards, and
yeah, I'm just
you'll be complaining about FUT champs.
Nah, I hope I do alright. I know this week's going to be the hardest week out of every week because I've heard some stories where it's just insane the first week. But yeah, let's move on to some footy. We got both of our tips right. I'm happy about that, but they were quite easy tips. Both shit games to watch. Did you catch any of the games?
Great. I caught a little bit.
Yeah.
So where was I? I remember being somewhere seeing the Collingwood and Geelong score, and I was very happy that Collingwood, big joke of a franchise, or not franchise, joke of a team,
yeah,
got absolutely destroyed. Then I've got another thing to bring up, footy related.
Yeah.
What do you think, or do you have anything to talk about the games on the weekend, or before we get into this part?
No, not really. Both of the teams that were expected to win won. So the next round, I've got a few Richmond supporter mates over here, and they're pretty keen that they're going to beat. Pretty confident that they're going to beat Port Adelaide. I'm well, Port Adelaide have come first the whole season, and you still think you're going to beat them. So nah, I don't really have too much to add. Collingwood was shit. That's about it.
So yeah, there's two things I want to bring up to you. So, first, what do you think of Essendon's list manager? Have you heard about what happened?
I don't think so.
Obviously, people are jumping ship out of Essendon, saying they want to go to different clubs, right?
Yeah.
And Adam Sard wants to go
Carlton,
to Carlton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just bring up.
Yeah, whilst you bring it up, we've heard that.
Just to make sure I get the player right.
Joe Danaher wants to go to Brisbane. Their players aren't the way that Bell Chambers didn't get to play his last game. Kind of sends a message to the team that, well, if you play a lot of games for this club, you're not going to get respected.
Okay, so there's valuing your plays, right? And then there's just being unrealistic. Okay. So this is the first the first group or first set of players, whatever.
Yeah.
That Essendon have asked for from Carlton for Adam Sard, right? They've asked for Charlie Curnow, any one of these three.
Yeah.
Harry McKay or Sam Walsh. Any one of them in return for Adam Sard, which I'm not sure about you. I do not rate Adam Sard anywhere near any of those three. Right?
I think I saw this. I didn't read it because I was like, oh, I can't be fucked. But it was on someone's story or someone, and they're like, what the fuck's this? I don't know where I saw it though. Did you share it today at all?
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I've not shared it. But then have you heard what the second one is? So Carlton obviously go, well, no, we're not giving up any one of them.
Yeah.
So then Essendon respond with, they want Carlton's first draft pick, which is number 8 in the draft, and Tom de Koning.
Well,
no, both of them together, yeah.
Oh.
The first draft pick and Tom de Koning.
I think
there's just a slight overvaluation of what you've got in Adam Sard there.
Yeah, Adam Sard's at the end of his career. He's already been at Gold Coast, played really well. He wants out because he sees no future with Essendon, and it's fair to say that if you're coming to Essendon from a rival club, you're doing it for the money. You're not doing it for because they're going to win a premiership soon. So, like, yeah, I think that's pretty unrealistic from him. I don't know. Yeah, I heard they might be getting James Hird back.
Ramsdale's not a bad player, but
yeah, he's pretty good. Like, but he's probably not worth a Charlie Curnow. I mean, Charlie Curnow probably
any of those really.
Yeah. Oh, I've got another question for you. Would you pay more than a mil for De Goey? Like, say, if you get him for 5 years, it's 5 mil plus deal. Would you do that? Like, is he worth a mil like a year, pretty much?
Look, I probably would be. He probably would be close. I don't think I'd pay. I don't think he's really $1 million a year player because you look at. Like when I think $1 million a year player, I think of a player like Nat Fyfe, right?
Yeah.
I think he might have been like one of the first $1 million a year players.
Yeah. Well, Buddy obviously was.
De Goey can like turn a game on his head. But
yeah.
He's not consistent with it.
No.
I probably if I was offering him a contract, I probably would offer him around like a $750,000, $800,000 a year. I think that's probably a lot more fair than $1 million a year.
Yeah, and that's what most people were saying. Like, he's probably worth that 800 K a year rather than a mil, because, like, well, it depends also how much cap space you have. So I know that Carlton, that they're making the move for De Goey as well. I don't know if they're going to pay a mil for him, but they've over the years, like the last 3 years, they've kind of been making space for players like Sard, players like Zach Williams from GWS. He looks like he might be going there, or he's definitely notified the club that he wants to move. So they're becoming a bit of a destination club at the moment. They are the man himself, the skipper Patrick Cripps, he did say the Blues are back or something like that, and then they ended up losing the next 3 games after he said that. So I don't know what he was on about, but I think
I do rate. I don't know. The first ever footy game I went to was Fremantle vs Carlton. So Carlton I do have a little soft spot. Not really. I'm not a fan of them, but I do like to see them do well as long as it's not against the Eagles or now the mighty Gold Coast Suns.
Exactly.
But I do like seeing them do well. So it does make me quite happy that like players now wanting to go back to Carlton. But then again, when you think of like those $1 million a year players, you think of like the absolute superstars of the games, like the players that each week will in and out. Like as soon as I think of $1 million, I'm thinking Nat Fyfe type player, like the Matt Fyfe level, and the guy is just not worth that.
And he has the off the field issues as well. He gets injured quite a bit. He came 8th in, I think, Collingwood's best and fairest. Like, if you want your best player or one of your most played players playing like good footy, he shouldn't be coming 8th in the best and fairest. He should be top 3 at least. And so it's probably not worth that much. But this week we have the preliminary finals. Port Adelaide versus Richmond at Adelaide, and we have Brisbane versus Geelong at the Gabba. Will you know how the MCG is getting transported to the Gabba?
That's what I was going to ask you about. That was the second thing I wanted to ask you about, is what you think of them transporting pushing the G into the Gabba, is what they...
Yeah, I saw that. And that's very good advertising. And imagine, you have this truck, right? And who gives a fuck about putting like all that advertising? Like, it's smart, but like, imagine driving past that. It's like, oh yeah, that's the MCG right there. It's like, cool. My thoughts on it, I don't really care. It's grass. Like, I'm sure people can get over it. I don't know your feelings about it, but it's where's it going to go on the wing? Like,
no. So the goal squares. So
okay.
In the goal squares, both of the goal squares, they're cutting out. It's not even the full goal square. I think it's like might even be half of the goal square or something like that. Where
Yeah.
they're cutting out like a certain patch of each goal
Okay.
square and putting the grass for the MCG in there.
Yeah.
But also, my thoughts on it is like it's cool. Apparently, Rebel Sport paid for it all to happen, so it's like coming out of like AFL's pockets.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of comments on like AFL pages when they said, "Oh, like this is happening." They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're gonna fire all these people from their jobs, but you're gonna go spend like a dumb amount of money to transport it from Melbourne to Brisbane."
Yeah.
But like, who knows even if it's an even like if it's gonna happen when you think about it, right?
Mm.
Because they could realistically have just parked the truck at MCG, taken the picture of like,
Yeah.
oh look, here's a refrigerated truck going at the MCG, driven this truck, or like even had another truck with the same design, or whatever like that, to Brisbane, and then be like, oh, here's the truck at Brisbane. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no one will know. No, on grand final day, unless like the patch is like a different color, or like
Yeah.
even then they dye grass anyway. Like,
yeah.
no one will actually know if it's actually from MCG or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of dumb, but it's smart marketing from Rebel Sport because they've got a massive truck now where everyone's talking about like, oh, look at this, like G in the Gabba.
Yeah.
And it's got like the Rebel Sport logo on the side of it.
Yeah, but then there's also a side of it. I don't know if you noticed, but a few weeks ago, obviously, Metricon and the Gabba were getting like heavy use. Like they were getting 3, 4 games of footy each week. And did you notice that at Metricon they kind of resurfaced the wing? Because obviously,
I didn't know.
so you didn't know. So like, there's pretty much you can see the patch, like it's a different color because it's a lot more grown. So they kind of they just resurfaced it, like get rid of the old. They probably got somewhere locally just to come and like just put it, patch it in or whatever. So you could say like that it's smart, but it realistically, whether it's a G, whether it's old mate's next door neighbor, back garden, like grass, like it doesn't really matter. I think you will be able to see the difference because they'll probably say they'll advertise it. They'll be like, "This is the G." Like I reckon I'm calling it right now, right? And no one's told me anything. Haven't spoken to the CEO at all, Gil McLaughlin. But imagine the goal square just has a massive like MCG written on it or G, like. It'd be the most pointless thing, but it's the most AFL thing to do. But also, we can talk about the entertainment for the grand final day. Have you ever heard of any of the bands that were announced?
The DMAs.
I've heard DMAs.
I do like the DMAs. I was quite happy. I was quite happy to see them.
Yeah.
Get probably the recognition that I believe they deserve. I don't know. When I listen to music, I listen to a range of music.
Yeah.
But it's like it just depends what mood I'm in, really.
Yeah,
like,
that's like me.
If I'm going through it, I'll be listening to like Suicide Boys, right? But then like sometimes I'll be like in that kind of mood. I'll be listening to like Skeggs, Sticky Fingers, DMAs, right?
Yeah. So good Aussie bands, pretty much.
DMA, whatever name is. Yeah, and then it's like you got.
Yeah.
Or like I'll be listening to like Drake in the weekend. Like it's just a massive range.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I'm like a massive fan, but I'm happy to see an artist, like a band that I like listening to, actually like perform. You know what I mean? It's like that probably appeal to a lot more younger fans than you see like Meatloaf performing. Like no one under the age of 30 really cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do like one of Meatloaf's songs, so I'm putting that out there. But I agree.
I'm pretty sure there's one banger. My parents used to play it.
I remember because you used to do the same where you went down to South Up, and I remember I don't know why I remember this story, but you and Levy are like doing like triathlons. I don't know why I remember that, but I mean,
how did you remember that,
yeah,
bro?
I don't know. You said it one day and it's just stuck with me. But there's one year, and the song Colt 45. Yeah, so it was that song, and then there's another Meatloaf song. It's like something about a dashboard. I don't know if you probably haven't heard of it, but it's a pretty old song. It's one of his big, like it's not like the biggest song that he's written, so no one like kind of remembers it, if you know what I mean. But it's the same with the DMA. It's like I never really heard of them until like Triple J's like hottest of the decade, and then there's obviously the song Delete, which is, do you reckon Delete is their most popular? or most well known.
It's my favorite song.
Yeah,
For some reason, when I'm going through it, it's a good song because sometimes you listen to it when you're happy and it's got like a different meaning.
Yeah.
Then when you're going through it as well, it's like a completely separate one. I do like it. I like it.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite songs that I haven't heard until this year, and it's probably an old song. Do you reckon? Wouldn't be new.
Yeah, like you would say it's like one of their newer releases. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm quite happy about that. I've heard of Wolf Mother, because they're getting a lead singer for him. I've never heard of his name, but that's the Joker and the Thief. You know that song?
I might have heard it. I probably don't know the name of it. Like, but I have heard of Wolf Mother.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know like the lead singer. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
About them
I won't.
like,
yeah.
they sing.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then the other ones, I have no idea who they are. So, it's like they always do it. It's good to see them get local people as well. And obviously, this year they're not going to go to America and get someone that probably has coronavirus over here. Like they probably, out of every year, going with like the locally, and also like very local because they're probably just getting people from Brisbane because they're getting Shepherd as well. So I know them. They have a few bangers out there, and they're from Brizzy. So overall, I'm not disappointed, but I'm not.
I do wish I actually do like the move though of having it local. I'm one of those people that wish the AFL did like what the NFL did with the Super Bowl and move it to like move the stadium. Like obviously not every stadium can host it. Like Metricon wouldn't be able to host a grand final. Like it's just not big enough, right? But like you've got Adelaide Oval that could realistically might not be the biggest crowd, but it could host a grand final. The stadium could host a grand final. The Gabba, trying to think in Sydney, they've got the SCG. That's quite small, isn't it?
SCG is small, but they've upgraded. They do. They have the ANZ Stadium, which is where they had the Olympics. So they could technically do it there, but that's that's the whole controversy. Remember the one where they had like a metal spike and someone cut their knee or something like that? Remember that? So the whole controversy over that, no one wants to play there anymore just because of that. And apparently it's pretty shit to watch. So, but technically they could have it there. Yeah.
If realistically, like each state has a stadium where a grand final could be played, right? Or like each state that a footy team's in, right?
Yeah.
I know the AFL has signed this massive deal with the MCG to keep at the MCG, but think like it would grow the game a lot more. And you'd probably bring in a lot more money to footy if they move this grand final around to next year it's going to be the SCG. Year after that it will be at the Gabba again. Then year after that might be Optus Stadium, right?
Yeah.
You get more footy, you get more fans being able to be closer to the grand final. Like you might get new fans along the way, but then you'll also be able to showcase like they've done with the musicians in Brisbane. You could be like that. Just say Optus Stadium, get a grand final. It's like up to the Optus Stadium owners or whatever it is, like workers, like the people that run it to be like, you have to put on this many, like it's obviously gonna be cleared by the AFL, but it's like you gotta get this many artists to perform at the show, like do this many things, because like Optus Stadium love doing their little LED light shows, right? Like they'd be able to do like a light show. I remember they did one at the NRL grand final a couple of years ago with like they had Justice Crew perform.
Yeah,
and it was like they had like people like on their phones and shit, or like at the Manchester United versus Leeds game, right?
Yeah.
They got everyone to download an app on their phone.
Yeah.
And then like you put in what seat number you're in, and like it was like, everyone put your phones up towards the pitch, and then your phone was like a color, and it was like,
that's
was red.
sick.
And it was like red, like there was like sections of reds, yellows, stuff, and everyone was holding their phone towards it. So like now over in like Europe, they've got like the everyone's got different color. It's something like that. Like you could do something like that, and like each stadium will have its own quirks and all that.
Yeah.
Which I think probably personally grow the game of footy a lot more than if they just have it the MCG every year.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with the MCG final. Obviously, it's amazing. Like 100,000 people watching it, but you'd also be able to make that change into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
so I'm pretty sure even with like the A League, they changed it around too.
Yeah.
Like every sport league changes.
Cricket
at the same stadium.
BPL.
Except for the AFL.
The BBL they changed. Like if Perth Scorchers win, or come first, they'll get the home grand final. So I think it's more of a like traditionalist like, or their argument is, oh, we've been having it at the G for over 150 years, like we're not going to move it because they, at the end of the day, like they are traditionalists and they probably won't do anything to change the game, even though they did change the game from 20 minutes to 16 minutes. Um, but like in the NFL, has it always been the switching, or has at one stage in their history was it only at like a set stadium? It probably wasn't.
I'm not 100% sure if it's always switched or if it's always been a set stadium forever. But it's like
Yeah.
I know that with like what they do is not some there's 32 NFL teams, but not every NFL team can host the Super Bowl because like they do it. They look at it like, can this, because obviously it's such a big event. Like, can the stadium hold a certain amount of people? Is there enough like hotels and restaurants in the area to be able to actually support having 100,000 people come in for a week
Yeah.
and it not be a shit show? Like,
Yeah.
there's all these different things. Whereas, so there's probably about like 15 different cities or whatever that actually end up hosting it.
Yeah.
But with the AFL, like, because like being traditionalist, right?
Yeah.
But also, you've got to move forward, and because the thing with being traditionalist is like people are gonna get bored of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True.
Like, obviously the game evolves, but the way that they do things also has like they just have to. They have to look at getting more fans in, and obviously because there's gonna be people our age who would probably find it a lot more. Because like me and you we're into like a thing, but like me and you are into like a lot of different sports, right? Footy's like our main sport. We've played it.
Yeah.
So like we follow that a lot closer than we would like a EPL, for example, right?
Yeah.
But then if you look at people that are like with like our equivalent, but with like a cricket or soccer,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh yeah, like I follow the AFL, but I'm more into this, right?
Yeah.
They can get, so just say look at the A League, for example. Like think about like, oh, there might be a grand final being played in Melbourne. Like I might be from Perth or whatever, support Perth, but oh, like I'm in Melbourne in the grand final, I'll go to that, right?
Yeah.
And then, but then so just say there's like a Melbourne fan over here or whatever, or like there's like a EPL fan, soccer fan.
Yeah.
They can be like, oh, like yeah, the grand final's in the city. Like I'll go check out what it's about. And they might be like, oh, like what the fuck? Like this is actually hell. Like this is hell sick.
Yeah.
Like they might not be able to get a ticket to the grand final itself, but to see the parade,
Yeah.
to see like
Yeah.
they do always they have like they'll have like if they were to do a grand final in Perth, I'm sure they'll have something like along the river, like the TVs,
Yeah.
have people like sitting around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just to go to something like that would be able to make a lot more fans than just say someone in Perth will be like, oh, they just play at the MCG.
Yeah.
And it's not really that connection to it. Whereas if you make that connection to people through it, it'll grow the game, grow more fans, and I can only see more positives because it'll bring more money in.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
means you probably wouldn't look at making more teams in the NFL. I feel like 18 or like max 20 would be probably a good amount.
Yeah, max 20.
But
yeah.
then you bring more money in, you'd be able to pay players more, you'd be able to help them trade. Like just the more money you bring in, the better the player's going to get.
Yeah.
Which means the better the standard of footy's going to get. Which means more athletes, more people are going to come watch it because I'm like, oh, these are freak athletes anyway.
Yeah.
And now they're even crazier, and they're going to be so much better, and more people are going to come watch that.
Yeah, it's just a massive roll-on effect, and you're right.
Yeah.
And
But they need to be ready to just change it first, though, which they're not ready to do.
No, they're not ready to do. And then, but at the same time, there's nothing better than like organizing early in the year, whether your team makes it or not, because you don't know that that early on. Planning with your mate to go to Melbourne like grand final week, like flying over there a week early, going to the cast every night, getting on the piss, then rocking out on grand final day, turning out to 100,000 people. You probably, if you did that at Perth, like you probably get bored after one day. You would make it a pretty quick trip, like because in Melbourne there's heaps of things to do. With Perth, you can find things to do, obviously, but it's probably not the best city, or not as great a city as Melbourne. But yeah, I agree.
Or like even if they were to do it like every second year,
yeah,
it's somewhere else or something like that, or like I don't know, something to just change up and help grow the game.
Yeah.
Or even if they were to do it with like, so with the NHL, right? So I like watching the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
So the way they do it, it's kind of funny actually. So this trophy is called the Stanley Cup, right?
Yeah.
And it's got its own Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
And the person who runs it tweets as if it's like they're the cup, right?
What?
And
Yeah.
so like they tweet basically from the perspective of the cup, acting like the cup's actually on Twitter, like talking, right?
Yeah.
But they go around and like they do like a tour around America, taking it to all these places, and it's like just like they keep one person just holding the cup, which each year like they choose one person to be like the trophy holder for the grand final, right? And they just do like they take it around like Australia. If they were to take it to like Sydney, and they take it around Sydney and be like, oh, take it like 5 schools or something like that.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, like that's the like Premiership Cup that they're playing for this year, or if they were to take it to Perth and take it to Lakeside Joondalup or whatever like that, right? And it's like, oh, come get your picture with the cup, something like that, to get more fans engaged into it.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Then just keeping it all very Melbourne based, and it's like, you know what I mean? Because it's they're very focused hard on the Melbourne market.
They do,
but nothing on like never really expand on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. They need to change, but like I don't think it's going to come anytime soon. This is the year to do it as well. Like we've already changed the venue. Like why not now? It's sad to see that they've already just signed a big contract, but I mean contracts are only there to be broken, aren't they? So might as well do it sooner rather than later.
I mean, they talk about traditional. They're playing a night grand final this year. Yeah, as well. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's a year.
These are definitely the times to start changing things, or like start making different moves to see how. Yeah, it's like it's pretty cool though. How do you see like Pat McAfee talk about the AFL and his NFL show in America?
Yeah,
it's like gets them more American fans.
Yeah, and then Mason Cox today.
You just like do more.
Yeah, Mason Cox today. He tweeted. He found like a tweet, and I think it was the NFL. Someone in the NFL scene, like someone got tackled without pads on, and they're like, "Oh, what a tough nut." He got tackled without pads on, and then I think I don't know exactly what Mason Cox did, but he's like, "Oh yeah, we do that like pretty much every day. Like that's our job to get tackled without." So. Like even
like footy's a crazy sport. Everyone international is like, what do? They run 10Ks a game, jumping on each other's back, getting absolutely smashed into the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Like kick a ball longer than the punters do in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like it's an absolute crazy game.
Yeah.
But the AFL does nothing to try to grow it.
Yeah. Well, how long do you reckon they would ever do a game in America? Well, they've done a game in China and no one cared.
They've got. I definitely.
Yeah.
I think once Corona settles down and like the clubs get finances a lot down.
Yeah.
I reckon if Mason Cox stays at Collingwood, and he signs like a 3-year contract, right? Next year probably not, but like a year after, I definitely would see like a
GW West
Collingwood versus like whoever.
Yeah, I think GW West were quite keen, or some of their players were like, yeah, we would definitely go and play in America. How cool would that be? And they just really need to expand globally. I think, like,
well, even if it's not for premiership points, and they choose 4 teams or something like that, or like 3 teams, and they do like go around America, and it's like they do like the old NAB Cup round robin type, right? Where it's like half a game, whatever, like that.
Yeah,
they'll still make a lot of money from fans and all that. People want to go watch it, and obviously you'd want to choose some half decent teams, not like you wouldn't want to be choosing like the lower tier, like the Carltons or something like that. But someone decent. And I think you'd get a lot of players wanting to go do that anyway. Like you could look at Richmond. Like, I feel like a lot of people, like a Dusty, would want to go over to America.
Yeah.
But like you just want them to do like a round robin, or like 14, 2 games. They watch 2 games, move on to the next city, choose 4 or 5 cities. It'd grow the game massively, and then you get because the AFL can sell like a subscription based, like, oh, you pay this, you can watch all the games, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Sell it to Americans.
I wouldn't even
buy that.
I wouldn't sell it. I would just say free to air, because then you would get the most people, because it's about exposure at the very start of your business. So you give like people like a preview, or even like a couple of games that are free, and then because if you're asking people to pay for something that they don't even know what they're gonna get, they're like, oh, I'm not gonna buy it then. So if you give them like a preview or like like a trial, free to air, whatever. But even if I sent more teams over, and did like half over there, half in Europe, that would kind of not work actually. Now I'm thinking about it because, oh no, they'd have to do it over the summer we've got a winter sport, right? And then over summer is their winter,
Well,
so
what
it could be
what they
snowing.
could even do, right? So if they choose, there's 18 teams.
Yeah.
9. So if they go 9 teams, you guys are over to America. The other 9 teams, Europe, right?
Mm.
And this will be like during the off season, right? Or like if it's still like a shortened season next year, like however they decide to do it, right? Obviously, players need their off season break.
Yeah.
But like for the preseason, for example, 9 teams go to America, 9 teams go to Europe for a month, and it's like you'll play 3 games or whatever like that, 4 games, right?
Yeah.
That's still 12 games of footy that they were never going to watch. Those like Europeans or Americans that were never going to watch. So you're growing an international fan base of people who want to buy in. Like because people start buying, be like, oh, I watched Western Bulldogs play in Amsterdam. Like I'm a Western Bulldogs fan now, right? And they'll buy like a Western Bulldogs hat or like a Western Bulldogs shirt or something like that.
Yeah, no. So yeah, it just grows the game a lot more. But I'll play devil's avocado here. If I was a player, and I'll be like, oh, would I rather do a footy trip with the boys or go and play in America? I'd probably choose the boys, like footy trip. I don't like because
yeah,
it kind of counts as pre-season.
No, so you go.
Oh, so if you like, you could count it as a pre-season type thing, but then, like, you wouldn't want to cut into the Christmas break because at the Christmas break they kind of want to be at home. After the grand final, they only get a few weeks, and I actually don't know what the pre-season, like windows are, but I think they train a few weeks before Christmas, and then obviously a few weeks after until the lead up of the first game. Or first round, but yeah.
Because I remember Tomo saying like, was it Tomo?
Yeah,
I think Tomo said
was.
that like, they're not able to train from a certain period, but they just say like by when you come back you have to be able to hit like this time or like this amount of reps or like whatever it is, right? But if you do it where so just say that so I don't know when the season like exactly what month the season starts, but just say it starts in March, for example. Right, and you give them December, January off. February, 3 weeks. You guys are in Europe. You guys are in America because they're still able to train and stuff over there. Like it wouldn't just be like we're gonna sit in a hotel, run out, play, go back to the hotel. Like they'll be able to train. They probably have better facilities. Like you look at Nick Nat, he went over to America for his knee rehab. When he did his rehab in Philly because they got better facilities than over here. Like they'll probably be better off training over in America than. Like it might like obviously it's away from home and stuff like that, and players now are complaining about being away from family. But, like they'll be able to do that preseason as well as playing those preseason games, make them shorter games, like they are in the NAB Cup. And then when they come back, 2 weeks to like readjust to like Australia, like time zones and like getting back through the motions of it here, and then start playing season again.
Yeah, nah, I agree. Had a good debate here. Fuck, we should probably move on, eh? Do you want to mention anything? Got anything more to mention on AFL side of things?
Covered it. See, I think, but also though, just to go back on how much we grounded the podcast, I think even today's a massive step up compared to previous podcasts. Actual discourse about footy, FIFA, and all that. We're both probably both a lot more comfortable being recorded on camera now, a lot more easier to share. Our quite out their opinion.
Exactly, and
AFL should definitely sign me and you to a contract. We got the ways.
I say, I reckon like the dream would be like the media guy that interviews people before the game and like, oh yeah, how good's this? And it's like,
I've got some big ideas. I got some big ideas for video ideas when you come back from Melbourne.
Yeah, sweet. Just us, like us two, or with the other boys as well. Because I've got a few.
it's probably just us two.
Yeah.
It'd be more like, you ever watched like
There's
the old Nelk? Remember old Nelk videos? There's like chirping like at game
Oh,
six of
yeah.
the finals, like chirping
Yeah.
Warriors fans. Like, it'd probably be a little bit like that, like kind of fake interviews at like go to Optus Stadium, or if I go to Melbourne,
Yeah.
go to MCG before a game.
Yeah.
Ask
And
them
then
about
you,
players that don't exist and stuff like that.
yeah. And have you seen those TikToks where like, they're like, have you ever heard sex? Who was it with? Have you seen those videos on TikTok?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen songs like
and
that. Yeah.
yeah, and they're all like in shopping centers, and they're all like, I just remember this one guy, and he's like, "Oh, do you think I'm cute? Yeah, nice." But if we did that, and then so, yeah, like, have you seen a video where he's like, "The Crows were robbed"? Have you seen that interview when he's like, "Right, the Crows were robbed right in front of my eyes." You know that guy? I could be completely off the mark
I've
here.
not seen that.
Have you not seen? Oh, Justin and Jacko love that one. Anyway, it's about like a Crow supporter, and he's upset about the game, and he's like, "The Crows were robbed right in front of my eyes." You have to watch the video. Go watch the video right now. I'm putting pause. Pause the thing. Watch it right now. It's
absolutely, the Crows were robbed right in front of me. Right in front of me.
He's about to cry.
He's had to cry. Yeah. But yeah, if we did that, if we just interview Crow supporters leaving the ground right after the game,
Yeah.
even if we,
like,
yeah,
well, you pick up like $50 $100 like Bluetooth microphone, right? Where
yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, gonna go grab some things, and just like shove it in front of someone's face, see what they want to say about it.
yeah,
Like, we'll dress up kind of nice, make it look a little bit legit. Fuck it.
yeah. Oh yeah, I love those videos. Sometimes do you know Nico on Le Mans,
Yeah.
whatever his name is?
I'm a
Like,
lover.
yeah, some of them I struggle to watch, like, because if that was me, like, I'll be like, oh, like, why am I here? Like, say, for example, like the ones where he gets told off and he's like going around pretending like he's like an IKEA like worker, and he's going around and then he starts like sleeping in their bed, and then someone comes in and he's like, why are you sleeping? Like, I in those situations I find them so awkward, like that, and I struggle to watch it. But at the same time, like, I would love to go to like and do like pranks, like say on the crowd, right? And like we pretend that we're like Frio, like media, and like we're all dressed in Frio, and we're giving people interviews, and they're thinking, oh, we're going to be on like the bloody website tomorrow,
Office TV or whatever it's called.
yeah, to find that they're just going to be on TikTok and be like, oh no, oh, there's a video, right? This is a good idea, right? So it was have you been to, no, you haven't been to Melbourne, have you?
I've never been to Melbourne.
Yeah, so at Marvel Stadium, I was about to call it Etihad. At Marvel Stadium, it's like a really quick walk from it's called Spencer Street like station. It's got a fucking, that's like the old name for it. I don't know why I know that name, but there's like it's really quick walk to the train station. And there's someone doing an interview right there, and he's like making up names, like he's just getting random people and he's just making up names. He's like, oh yeah, Dean Kerr, did you have a good game tonight? And like, yeah, you played alright. It's like, yeah, Dean Kerr, how do you think his first year's going? And like, he's not a real player, and then he's just completely making these players up, and he's like, oh yeah, Gary Ablett had a good game tonight, how do you think his first season's going? And they're like, yeah, he's been a really good recruit for us. Like, I didn't think he was going to be that good. Like, you just get like, people have no idea or anything about footy, but it would just be
No, I could be sick. We buy a team polo, right?
Yeah.
We sit there, ask some questions. It'd be so funny.
Yeah, but we need the right equipment as well. So hopefully by then, like, we're balling in money, because we've just been sponsored by EA to bloody be their pro clubs. I don't even know, but yeah, hopefully we're rich by then, and we can start making like good quality videos as well. Like then goal, like for podcasting. Well, I know that Randolph and Simon for their podcasts, they have to do it like this as well, but they have like $200, no, not $200, 2K cameras like videoing them, whereas we're just using our bloody laptop cameras, like obviously not the best quality and not the best quality mics and
like,
stuff.
Just to go back to what you're saying about like how the Nico or Milano ones, right? Like the cringe one.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely love situations like that, right? Like, so when Nelk were first doing like their ones where it's like they're ones in the street.
Yeah.
Me and my mate, like, we used to like love watching them. Would you can sit there and be like, oh, stand up for the boys, and just like skull like a V energy drink, right? Just to try to be like them, right?
Yeah.
They were just like sending Coronas, but we couldn't drink. We were like 14.
Yeah.
And like, do you know in Perth how they do like the animal rights ones?
Yeah.
It's like they sit in a square with like the computers, right? So me and him were talking to this guy, and we're just like, we never had any intention of learning about being vegan, right? And we're just like talking to this guy about like his vegan lifestyle, and we're like, oh, like yeah, like there's not really many options to eat, and he would just be like, and like I was like recording on my phone, like sneakily like this, I had my phone like there, and he's like, oh yeah, like when I go to KFC, like I don't eat any of their chicken, like I just get like this and this, and it's like vegan. And my mate's like, yeah, like you can help notice, you can help taste the fear in the chicken. And like it was just like the funniest shit. And he just like looks at us, he's like, what, fear in the chicken?
Yeah, it's like
But like just like dodge like that. Like I feel like that's just funny to me.
Yeah. And you gotta get used to it as well. Like there's heaps of people that do it. Do you remember Janoskin? The Janoskin boys? Like back in the day, like YouTube, like Australia.
I remember hearing the name, I never watched them though.
Yeah, they're the type of guys that do like it's like knock and run, but you're only allowed to take 3 steps. And so if you're lucky enough,
I actually have seen,
yeah, if you're lucky enough, like the 3 steps, you're like out of their doorway, so they can't see you, and you just hide around the corner. But one time, like it was like a massive door, and then there was nowhere to hide, so he knocks, and he pretty much just lays down, and he's just laying on this girl's porch, and she walks outside, and then like imagine doing that, like just lying on this random guy's porch in the middle of nowhere, like. You just have to get used, like, because, you know, they don't know it's a joke, and they could be like, get the fuck off my lawn right now, or they could be like, oh, what's this guy doing? Well, I'm just going to go back inside, and then, because you know it's a joke, like, the people you're filming with know it's a joke, it's just like that one person that doesn't know it's a joke, and you don't know how they're going to react, so, yeah, it's all fun and games,
definitely pretty cool though, like because especially once coronavirus is like done and either I'm able to get over to Melbourne to record a video or like you're able to come over back here to record a video, like and we're actually able to record like it's like because I was watching Will and Cal Frazee and Calix record to react to like the TikTok houses, like that, just easy videos where like they're both sitting in front of a computer, and they're just, like, watching YouTube videos together, but they still like there's still content to put out. Like to be able to do stuff like that, or like if there's a game of footy on, and we grab like I've got a GoPro or whatever like that, to grab a GoPro and get like Raj or something like that to come just hold a GoPro for us, or one of us to hold the GoPro for the other person to pretend to be a media member, like stuff like that. Just get decent content out rather than just like talking over a computer screen.
Yeah, exactly. But we have to make
IRL podcast would be fat as well.
Should we go on to we're going to do your segment, your not so coincidence.
Yeah, I have a few for this week.
We will make sure that we get the right title. Like it worked last week, but this week, it might just be a cool footy statistic or something like that.
Okay, so the two this week. So one's a cricket one.
Yeah.
But actually, they're both cricket ones. So just little sports coincidence. If it ever comes up at a quiz night, you'll be happy to listen to this podcast, right?
Yeah.
So in March 1877 at the MCG, the first ever Test match was played between England and Australia. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The match was won by Australia by 45 runs. In March 1977, at the same venue, MCG, a Test match was played to celebrate 100 years of Test cricket between Australia and England. The match was won by Australia by 45 runs. 100 years later, same venue, right?
Yeah.
And then also to our Indian fans, we know you love your cricket, so hopefully this brings a few more. We'll tag this video Sachin Tendulkar and Virat Kohli. So Sachin Tendulkar's 58th international century and Virat Kohli's 58th international century are basically the same.
Right? Basically.
So both Sachin and Kohli scored their 58th international century against England.
Yeah.
Both were dismissed at exactly 103.
Jesus.
Both faced the same number of deliveries.
What? That's weird.
Both came into bat as the fourth batsman of the team innings.
That's weird. That's insane.
How mad is that?
That's insane. I don't know how people find that out though. Like, I don't know if they're just a massive nerd or
who goes
what.
through stuff like that and finds that out. But
yeah,
crazy.
I reckon if you spend a whole day looking for those type of stats and you end up finding none of them, like, that must be the most disappointing day ever until you get that one like that one and you think, oh, I've just made $1 million here. Like, yeah, that's insane.
And then you post on a Quora article for some white guy to screenshot on this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I bet you no one ever knew that until the one white guy screenshotted it, and then now a lot of people are gonna know this now.
We average right now. We're averaging about 10 viewers a podcast.
Yeah,
that's 10 more people that are gonna find that out.
Exactly. So you can thank us later.
Yeah. When I single-handedly win your quiz night from these little bits of facts and coincidences.
If that's coming up on a quiz night,
the meat tray win.
If that's coming up on a quiz night, I'm done because I'm like, fuck this. Talking about winning. Segue onto what did we win last week?
All right. So $1 to $1,000 challenge. We finally got off the mark. Drew never actually even got off the mark.
Nah, let's just say that we did. Alright, I'll be honest. My sports bet account has been inactivated or deactivated.
Drew won too much in such a short amount of time.
Exactly.
Sports bet said we're going to lose money, so you're out.
Exactly, and there's one thing I hate in life, and it's having to ring people up. Like, I'd rather just text, email. I'll do anything. I just don't. Like, I don't mind, like, once I get to know someone, I'll ring them up. But if I have to ring someone over, like, texting, I'll choose texting every day. So I try to get my account activated by text. You know, those bots that you say, have you ever done it? Where, on Sportsbet, you can text them and say, oh, I need this done. And then they send you something back. And they're like, all right, give your name, give your username, and give like a date of birth so you can verify who you are. And so I didn't ring them. I tried to do that, and they just left me on red that like every time. Like, can I get my bloody account activated? And they're like, why? And it's like, well, I can't use that inactivated, can I? And so the whole thing's messed up. So I ended up not betting on that game, but I did chuck a sneaky bet on the Collingwood versus Geelong game on, I think, PointsBet, and still lost anyway. So I don't know.
So to refresh everyone's from last week's episode, we bet on the Richmond versus St Kilda. Very straightforward game. We have the Richmond to win head to head. Dan Butler to score a goal. Daniel Rioli to score a goal. Also, though, do you remember how last week, right? I don't know if you remember it, but you were talking about how on Sportsbet they list Seb Ross as Sebastian Ross.
Yeah.
Dan Butler, is his name just Dan or is it Daniel?
I think it's just Dan. I've never heard anyone call him Daniel. Why?
Yeah, see, because that's what the thing. They're just weird because on Sportsbet he's listed as Dan Butler. So I don't know but it's also kind of weird to just call your kid Dan.
Yeah, there's not
Normally,
many out
usually
there.
it's Daniel, but it's always shortened to Dan. But anyway, I digress. So Dan Rioli to score a goal, Bachelor Hooley to get 15 or more touches, and Jack Billings to get 15 or more touches. And that came through. So we won $8. So, but then also I had a separate idea because I may or may not have bet money using that $8. So I think that we keep a running counter
Of $8.
Right now we're like positive, so like +8, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So instead of betting $8 on the next one, we'll just be like, we'll still do like the dollar bet, whatever it is.
Okay.
And then, like, so see how quickly we can get that $8 into like 100, into like 1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So keep a running total, and then fuck it. Once we hit 1,000, hopefully we have enough subscribers. Giveaway when we hit $1,000 on our thing. I will personally. Drew, see, I will personally fund this giveaway. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'll personally.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll thought
buy something.
Yeah, go on.
Give it to you.
I initially when you said I'll give away, I'm like, oh, you're gonna give away $1,000 to a viewer. I'm like, no, can we keep some of that money? So what you're saying is, we keep the $8, which I agree with. And then you're saying the next bet we shouldn't use that $8. We should use another $1, or what are you saying there?
Yeah, so I reckon. So instead of using that $8 to place the bet on, because just going like looking back on how much we've lost, right? Instead of basically losing $8 and then being started at square one, if we keep that $8 like banked, right?
Yeah. We get an option to bank it or not bank it each week, and this week we
bet it, right? Or like something like that, yeah. So then, if we like bank it, whatever, and then when we reach $1,000, we'll do a giveaway to one of our right now 10, but by then surely it's gonna be over 100. We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
So. Especially, it's taken us 5 weeks to get to $8. It's going to take us quite a while to get to 1,000. But if we continue, continue.
But we got off the mark
on those $1 bets.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing. We got off the mark.
Yeah. We can only go up from here, can't we? We could go down. We could lose all of it if we chose to. But this week, I would say definitely not bet on the winner, because that would be pretty dumb. But we should stick to footy. I think we're doing all right with footy. We could switch to the EPL. I think some of our viewers might be happy.
Have your sports account back, or am
I? Yeah, I do. Right. Yeah. Definitely have it back.
All right, so we can do footy or EPL. I think EPL is probably a little bit of a harder one. It is the Merseyside derby on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be watching that at 10:30. It's pretty early for me.
7:30. That's an early game for the EPL for us.
Yeah.
Gone to the pub to watch that one Saturday, maybe.
Pub will Cass. Millsy be like, curse.
Yeah, Dunko's actually invited us. Our favorite user on PlayStation.
Wow.
So he's actually started talking to us again after having us talk that we left the cast. But...
or you should just not show up to this. Like, yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, we'll be like 5 minutes away, and just don't show up. That would be the funniest thing.
That's right.
He won't chat to you for like a whole year.
Who do you reckon? What do you reckon what do you reckon game we should bet on then? It's up to you.
I like the way that we bet on a Richmond game and we won, so let's do that one again.
That's the first time in a while I've actually seen the Port Adelaide the favourites in a final game against Richmond.
Yeah, and because they weren't even favourites. See, they're so underrated. Sorry, like it's unbelievable how people still like obviously Richmond supporters are. I haven't spoken to many like of my other colleagues, but the Richmond fans are quite confident that they'll beat Port Adelaide just because they got Tom Lynch back, which is he's a human flog. Anyway, we'll get him.
he wins our shit bloke of the week a second time in a row.
Yeah.
That little knee tried to George Floyd. I don't know who it was, but
yeah.
he tried to end a man's life.
Again.
That wins shit bloke of the year. Not shit bloke. No, that's a contender for shit bloke of the year, but that wins shit bloke of the week.
Exactly. So in saying that, we should put him on to kick 5 goals because I reckon that's a winner. But we did put it was kind of initiated by me last week that I insisted that we shouldn't do too many legs and we shouldn't do too much odds, which made us win.
I think it's a winning formula though.
It's a winning formula. So similar to last week's model, I think we did a couple possessions and then a couple goal winners, and then I think we did a winner, but
yeah, so
definitely not a winner.
We said we'll stick to 5 legs or under.
Yeah. Now, who do we go for? So we'll start with the 15 or more disposals. I think Robbie Gray's been hitting it out. His odds are quite low, but then again, like all it takes is Richmond to smash Port Adelaide or vice versa. Like I was quite confident that like a Scotty Pendlebury was going to get 20 disposals, but at the start of the game, I didn't think that Geelong were going to win by 60 points or whatever they won by. So saying that, like, yeah, we can't do too high odds because I don't want that to happen again. And then also, fortunately this hasn't happened to me yet, but one of the guys that you bet on gets injured. Has that happened to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm lucky enough to say it hasn't. But yeah, that would complete. That's why we don't bet the $8. That's why we're banking it and then saving it. So who are you thinking for 15 or more?
Look, might be a bit of a surprise, but I've had a bit of a scroll through these things, and I think out of both teams, we're probably looking for the most safe options, right?
Yeah.
And realistically, for 15 touches, the 3 safest options on this would be Dion Prestia, Dustin Martin, Batcher Hooley, right? 15. Because so they're probably Richmond's like top 3 probably ball getters, right? You'd probably say that.
Yeah.
And the game, I personally, if looking at the last time they played, and also now, I think Richmond can blow out Port Adelaide, but I don't think Port Adelaide can blow out Richmond, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So I think that those 3 players will definitely be getting a fair share of footy, right? Batcher Hooley coming off halfback. You got Dustin Martin plays quite a bit in the middle. Same with Dion Prestia. I think if we were to put them 3 or 15 touches, that's probably really safe.
Yeah, and I agree. I would say that because we're going so safe with that, we could potentially increase the amount of legs. So because like realistically, like Martin will probably get 15 in the first half, depending whether he'll play forward or not. So I'm happy to see how many legs we get up to. Like my big thing is just don't create the odds to be so high. Like last week, the odds were quite low. So
I think we those first couple of weeks we were just trying to go for glory, trying to get that big multi to hit off those $100 multis or something like that. Where I think looking around the odds of like about those $8, $10 odds for like as long as it's like a 20 leg multi for $10. But if it's 5 for 10 or something like that, some like a decent amount of odds.
Yeah, exactly. Do we do anyone for 20 plus? Like you're looking at guys like Wines, Rockcliffe, Boak, guys that are really capable of doing it, and then for Richmond, looking at guys at Dion Prestia, Martin again. It's weird to call him Martin. Why don't I just call him Dusty? Go on, yeah.
I think you probably could put for
Pig.
Sorry, excuse me. I think you could probably put Tom Rockcliffe for 20 because in either a win or a loss, like they're going to be looking for Rockcliffe to kind of stand up and take that ball forward and take that like from the midfield to the forward line.
Yeah, I agree. Even Boak.
And I'm just having a look now. He's not even like both him and Boak are not even listed for 15 touches. So I think Sports Bet that confident in him getting over 15. So we could have a look at something like that because they would be looking for him to step up as well as Travis Boak.
saying that, last week, Taylor, no, not Taylor Adams. It might have been Taylor Adams and Trelaw weren't listed to get 15 or more, and they ended up only getting like 18. So, but like, I don't think it's more safe with Port Adelaide because Port Adelaide probably won't get blown out like, Collingwood.
Yeah, I think this would probably be the closest game. I think Brisbane's probably got a lot more chance of being
Yeah.
a blowout.
Yeah, I agree.
Than this guy. I think both teams, because you got Richmond wanting to get a grand final. Obviously, Port Adelaide want to get grand final as well. Port Adelaide have that week of rest. I think that probably levels the playing field that little bit more.
I agree. So do we just go?
If you're happy, I don't mind chucking Tom Rockcliffe in.
I reckon Tom Rockcliffe, but not Boak. I'm a bit worried about Boak.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we go to goal kickers. We won't do too many, maybe 2, 3 max. Maybe even just one. I think Charlie, I don't know, I always doubt Revolt, but then at the same time, like, he always scores a goal. So do we just chuck on Revolt?
If I had to choose 3 from this, right?
Yeah.
I'd start off probably a value pick. I'd probably put a Daniel Rioli in. Small forward. You probably would imagine that the ball.
Yeah.
Because Port Adelaide also play that like long into Charlie Dixon, but then they got the small forwards to crumb it and go.
Yeah.
Same with Richmond. Richmond will look for the Jack Riewoldt or Tom Lynch, and then have the small forwards be able to crumb it and then score a goal from there.
Yeah.
So paying $1.72, Dan Rioli is probably really good.
Yeah.
But then I'd also look at adding like a Tom Lynch or Riewoldt, and then also a Charlie Dixon.
Yeah, right.
Because like obviously Charlie Dixon's going to be the number 1 option for.
Yeah, true.
Port Adelaide, like they're going to be looking at him the entire time, and he's a dog. He loves the grit. Like, he loves the gritty. Look at that fight he had the other day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's going to be definitely sinking in. Definitely going to try to get a couple even.
Even like, I know there was a game where he didn't even mark the ball inside 50. He just got a free kick. He always gets in those right positions where the defender is freaking out, so they kind of foul him. So I'm happy with Dixon. I'm happy. Let's go with Daniel Rioli. We do need that value player. And I'll be tempted to do both Tom Lynch and Jack Riewoldt, to be honest.
I was thinking that too. I'm we have to put both in.
So that
brings the odd to our magic number, because it's the same number as what it was last week too.
Let's go.
$7.75. Power player
to $8.
$8.60.
Oh, more than last year. Oh no, last week. Sorry.
Well, last week, yeah. So I'll place that. So I'll send you a screenshot if you'd like. That's being placed.
And hopefully we get back-to-back wins. It's very unlikely because at the moment we win 1 every 5 rounds, but you never know. Could be the double up, and then we can choose to bank it, or we can continue to. We might actually we could use this, like, say, we're talking hypotheticals here, but say we win this one, because we've got $8 banked from last week, we can choose to keep that, but then use this $8 because, like, even if we do like a head-to-head winner on like grand final day using that $8, like, if we win, we double it. If we don't win, well, then we're back to our $8, which is not too bad. Like, so if you know what I mean. So, it's all obviously up to us, but hopefully the first step is to get all those right tomorrow. I'll be looking for Dan Rioli the whole game. Like, get it to Dan, kick a goal, Dan, kick a goal. Yeah. But last week, it was because I didn't even bet on last week, which is obviously my fault. But like, maybe that's the winning thing. Like, maybe I shouldn't bet this week, and then we might win again. And then because I wasn't concentrating on like those players last week to get a goal because didn't even know what bet we had on. So yeah, hopefully we get over the line. I'll be watching pretty keenly. Do you have any more topics to bring up this week? I think we should wrap things up.
I think it's been a good podcast. I'm looking forward to next week.
It has been.
Discuss what we get our rewards.
Exactly.
How we perform on FIFA throughout the week. Be able to see if we win. Hopefully, we do get that W.
Yeah, hopefully I've got a.
No, definitely.
Yeah, hopefully I've got a Ronaldo just waiting for me just to open him up.
I beg. I mean, I'm also next week. Hopefully, we might have a special guest. Either the return of Raj, hopefully, or looking at getting Milan back on his episode. His episode got corrupted with no audio, so
that wasn't on purpose.
We haven't looked at bringing someone else on.
Well, we have a guest that I think I'm scared to get him on. You remember the guest that we did talk about? We should get on the big gym junkie himself.
Yes, we do need to. We
need to get him at some point.
We need to get him on.
But I reckon we do need some clout before we start getting those type of guests on, because he's the type of guy that we could start his career actually. Well, maybe it's already started. He would probably argue, but we could start his career, and then we can get all the great rewards that he gets from from us, pretty much. But if Noah Anderson or Matty Rao's watching this, just send us a DM, or just on the Shaggers. Yeah, but yeah, thanks for watching another great episode. We'll see you next week. Bet. All right, I'll send that over to you. Oi! We just hit 2 hours.